The Mimbres River in southwestern New Mexico forms a valley over 90 miles long. The valley was occupied from about 200 AD to 1300 AD by Native Americans. Archaeologists have found a preponderance of pit houses and kivas, evidence for agriculture and irrigation systems, and the manufacture and use of pottery. Between about 1000 AD and 1130 AD, the pottery reached an artistic zenith. The pots were almost always black and white, and painted with animate and inanimate objects, animals, humans, humanoids, and fantastic geometric figures. These pots, now known as the Mimbres pottery, are thought to have been created by only a dozen or so potters. The nature of this art, which is sometimes illustrated in an Asian yin-yang-like design, is thought to reveal much about its makers and their living culture, although the real story is of course unknown. It is also not known what the people and potters called themselves, as only modern archaeologists have supplied the name Mimbres. The source of these amazing designs has spawned a raft of hypotheses. One of these, the datura hypothesis, proposes that the potters received their inspirations from the datura plant, a white flowering family of plants common throughout the western USA. It is well known to have hallucinogenic qualities, as well as being poisonous, an aphrodisiac, and often deadly. The datura hypothesis is strengthened by the fact that the Mimbres potters often painted the datura flowers, seed pods, and even withered flowers as their themes, but they never painted their common foods like squash, beans, and corn. Further, they often painted the hawk moth, which is a known pollinator of the datura plant. In one bowl, a man is riding on the back of a hawk moth, and the patterns on the wings of the moth are included on some bowls. The datura plant contains at least 3 hallucinogenic agents: scopolamine, hyoscyamine, and atropine. Because the toxicity of the datura plant varies so widely from seed to seed, flower to flower, and plant to plant, the behavioral results were frequently unpredictable and sometimes deadly, because many of its users think they can fly and leap from windows and balconies. However, datura has been used medically and culturally for centuries, especially among America's Southwest Indians. This suggests that its preparation was carefully monitored by the Mimbres potters, and that information may have been carefully transmitted across generations for over a century. A final mystery arises. Many of the bowls were found in graves, and many of the bowls had their centers intentionally punched out. There is some speculation that the holes had some connection to other worlds, dimensions, or an afterlife. That idea is supported by the many kivas in Mimbres culture. These kivas usually contained a round hole in the center of the floor, which modern Hopi Indians called a sipapu, a portal from which their first ancestors emerged.